watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back to the Red Zone. I'm Darian Branch.
And I'm Will Cobbins. Each show, we'll discuss the latest Red Devil football with Coach Gene Robinson and break down some of the biggest plays. Now let's dive into the Red Zone. Good to have you back, Coach.
Man, thank y'all for having me. I love this.
No problem, no problem. So going back into that game, right, Coach? That was a thrilling game that y'all had played last Thursday. What can you give me an overall recap of how you felt about the game?
Right. I think it was a gutsy win. You know, guys came out and played their hearts out on a short week right after an emotional Whitehaven game, so it could have been like a trap game per se.
Yeah.
But I thought the offense, obviously, we got explosive guys and we kind of leaned on their backs a little bit. Defense kind of, for the second week in a row, I'm standing here saying we got to get our line correct, our eyes got to be correct, and we got to do the right assignment. So that gives us things to clean up this next week as we play Central for homecoming. So we're excited about it. But anytime you win against a good Lausanne team, they have prospects all over the field. They field a good team. So we came out and got a gutsy win versus those guys. Like I said, in a short week, man, we're excited about it. Now it's time to clean up and move towards Central.
Okay, cool. So can we go back to that the opening kickoff of the game,
Right.
where we was about to receive the ball, but then, you know, we had that incident where one of the players ran from underneath the ball and put Lausanne in a good field position. Can you go over
Correct.
that?
Yeah, so I thought Lausanne did a great job of executing against the sky kick on us. You know, they kicked the sky kick. The guy had his eyes on his blocker. He didn't look and see the ball would come right under him. So he went to go grab a block. However, our return guy is 20 yards deep, so it was right in that gray area right there. So I thought they did a great job of executing that sky kick, offside kick turned into, and then they stole a possession. So now they get the ball in their red zone. They go up 6, kind of get the momentum going their way at the start of it. I thought we rebounded. We made a rebound tremendously. Like they kick it back to us. We get the ball in our playmakers' hand. Jameen Bean, this is his second week back, he was hurt with an injury, but he went 95 yards for a touchdown untouched. You know, so that was one of our points of emphasis last week, the kick return team, because we have some special guys. We weren't really getting our blocks early on in the year. So that was a point of emphasis, and to see that come through like that, that was a huge plus for us, you know. So, man, we're excited, you know, to continue to build upon that with that team. But obviously, we can't have the game starting off now and we're not having the ball, possessing the ball. So we got to do a better job at that. I think that's something that, you know, we can kind of get on, and because that's the gray area. I mean, he kicked it right over his head and, you know, between the returner's head. So that's just something we gotta clean up, you know, pushing forward.
Coach, you know, your offense, they pretty much led the game. They led to your victory. Larry Johnson having 2 rushing TDs and Trayvon McGory having over 100 receiving yards. What kept the offense into the game instead of just break it down?
Well, you know, our offense, man, is explosive. Now, we're really explosive, and I don't mean just like scoring first play. I mean being able to methodically drive the ball down the field, and you have to cover every blade of grass. You have to cover every athlete that's out there, you know. And big ups to the O-line, you know, William Collins, they did a pretty good job. So big ups to those guys. But, man, just having our personnel, the work they put in through the week to go out and execute. You know, after the game, John Varlas was just amazed that our flea flicker pitched back to the quarterback, big boy bomb to Trayvon McGory, which is a beautiful throw by a sophomore in Jordan Shelton, you know. But the execution of that play was top notch, like some you see on Saturdays. You know, you usually don't see plays like that on a Friday night. So man, just big ups to those guys, big ups to the offensive coaching staff for getting those guys prepared and ready to come compete in how we do, you know. So I thought the offense did a great job, you know. Obviously, still some points that we wish we'd had. You know, we got in the red zone. We had a turnover on downs. We don't want that. I think anytime it's a 4th and 1, we got to get that, right?
Yep.
So that's just the things that we can clean up. You know, right before half, we take a sack that we shouldn't take. So it costs us from getting some money or some scoring, some points down there. That's things that we have to clean up. But other than that, I thought it was, you got a sophomore quarterback who went 15 for 17. 15 for 17, you know, in a game of that magnitude at Rhodes. And went for 262, you know, with a touchdown. Then you got Mekhi Rollins come in and he throws a touchdown to Darian Rogers. So like I said, like our offense is really, really explosive. We have guys, and we love that.
To go more in detail on the offense, so with the O-line, right? So, you know, leading the O-line, you have Andreas Amos and, you know, Jeremiah Thompson in the middle. Like, how do they, you know, put your trust into them guys to lead this team back from, you know, come from out of the halftime 28-28?
Well, you know, we have senior leadership. So that's the thing that I've been telling you all the past few months that I'm excited about this team. We have senior leadership. So when you can lean on guys like Andre Amos and JT, those guys, William Cobbins as well, you know, you can lean on those guys to kind of get it rolling. Yeah, things aren't going our way, but hey, let's stay in the fight. Let's stay in the fight. So we all believed, you know, that we were going to get it done, and we went out there and got it done.
So Darren, how you feel about that the game, you know, with the offense and how explosive, like Coach Jean said, how explosive they can be? So how do you feel about, you know, the playmakers?
Well, the playmakers did show out, you know, as I stated. But, you know, going into the halftime 28-28 tie game, you know, time for the leaders to step up second half. Second half, leaders stepped up like Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson, two back-to-back game-winning touchdowns. You know, help y'all get y'all 2 wins against Whitehaven and Lausanne. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that game.
No doubt. I think, man, Larry Johnson is a special talent. We all know that, right? But it seems as if, man, the third quarter and those fourth quarter runs are explosive, are strong, are the Larry Johnson we come to know. So, man, we challenging Larry to kind of get going in that first quarter, get going in that second quarter. But the way he can put a team to sleep, man, and just really run explosively in the second half, I'm really proud of him. And I just pushing him to take his game to the next level. Let's start that in the first half. You know, when your first carry, let's get that going. But I'm extremely proud of Larry Johnson now. I also want to mention the play of Trayvon McGorry. You know, obviously he's our big time receiver, and a lot of times, you know, he can go and he getting double covered, so he might catch 4 passes for 4 to 3 yards. But he had a huge game, he had a huge night, you know, in the big boy balls. But another thing that he did, man, and he's been doing these the last few weeks, was unselfish play in his blocking. So if he's getting double covered, he's taking them down the field, acting like he's running a post route. He's taking a safety in the corner with him, right? So, but man, that last touchdown run, when I got home that night, I just kept watching it because that's unselfish play. Like, that's championship football. That was a championship drive. Hey, we got to go get 6. And ain't no excuse about it. We got to go get 6. And that's what we did. But we did that with unselfish play on the outside. And I wanted to highlight Trayvon, but he's not the only one, because Marlon Hammond was blocking as well, Darian Rogers blocking as well. All those guys did their deal, their 111 to go make us win that game. And I think that's championship effort. You know, and we can get everyone doing that, I think we're fine.
Okay, well, let's shift to the defense then. So, you know, defense did start off a little slow. You know, feel like they came to game sleep or whatever, you know what I mean? But what did you tell them to, you know, flip that switch to, you know, try to hold them out from, you know, that for them scoring and getting the win?
Right. So, you know, I thought obviously the momentum kind of shook after that kick return, but man, the championship defense goes out and stop those guys from scoring. We didn't align right. So our eyes weren't right, you know, and they scored a touchdown. So, man, just staying in the hunt. I think we have to do a better job of cleaning that play up during the game. You know, we can't just wait till the next day to be like, oh, we weren't doing this, we weren't doing that. I think that on that deal, we'll get in one accord. Just sticking to the game plan, understanding who we are and what we're trying to do. If it happens to us once, that doesn't mean we go away from it. We practice all week on certain things, so we have to stick to the game plan on that. But we have to be who we are, you know. And I think the last 2 weeks, I'm disappointed in that. I'm disappointed in our effort on how we get to the ball. That's not Germantown football. That's not the defense that we stand for. So we'll play better. We will play better for sure.
So did they give y'all any different type of looks than what y'all was preparing for?
Oh, well, anytime, yeah, correct. Anytime you will play a Lausanne or a private school, they're going to give you a lot of misdirection, a lot of formation movements. So they play with your eyes, right? And they play with our eyes a lot with their misdirection, with their pre-snap formations, their overload formation in the boundary. And they gave us a lot. They did, you know. But those are things that we prepared for, and we should be able to go execute.
So now, Coach, let's get to your special teams. You know, as we stated earlier, that messed up on the first opening drive. Really, opening drive. You know, gave Lausanne the ball, great field position, and they scored off of it. But we did come back off the kickoff return. Bean, he scored. So how can you better execute your special teams, basically?
Yes, so like I said, we put a point of emphasis on our kick return because we have so many explosive guys. So if a team is willing to kick the ball deep to our explosive guy, we expect to score. You know, and that's getting our blocks on the front line. And like I said, we repped it this past week. So to go see it score was a yes, that's what it's about. You know, a fist pump. Yeah, that's why we work as hard as we do. You know, now we have to clean up, like I said, that gray area sky kick that we had, we got to clean that up. You know, whether that's personnel, whether that's, okay, I can feel this kick and we're good. You know, I thought we did a great job. We brought in Jeremiah Taylor, who's an explosive guy for us. He's a sophomore, but he's really, really good. We brought him in. We put him in that spot, man. He returned the ball about 30 yards right there. You know, so they won't kick it right there anymore. So we just have to find out where they're going to kick it to next because we have those explosive guys. But kick return did a great job. Lost it in all, I thought, KV's record. We brought out punt team one time. He kicked it, boom, that thing about 40-something yards. So now they got the ball inside the 10. Like, that's a major game shift there. It's extremely hard to go as an offense to be perfect. You know, to score. So anytime we can get that change of positions like we did with KV's record on his punt, that's huge. But I thought kickoff team did a great job all night long, and we kicking that ball deep, and we got hunters that really want it now. They want it. We competing for T20s. That's tackling inside the 20. But we competing for them. And to hear those guys have those conversations, that means special teams means something here. You know, and the only way to go get a gold ball, the only way to be a champion in our region is you got to play big-time special teams. You must win 2 of the 3 phases of the game. And I think our special teams play gives us an opportunity to win that, you know.
Well, you know, Coach, that was an overall good game. But then let's shift over to next week. It's homecoming. You know, this team Central. They're they're a 5-0 team also, so the quality team. So what is going into preparation for Memphis Central this Friday? Yeah,
so Memphis Central comes in. They're 4-0. They just got a big win in their conference with Brighton. So you know they're coming in on the high. You know, I got to figure out a way to make them keep that band at home like Brighton did. I'm joking. I'm joking, man. But Central has a great band, you know, and they're going to come with great energy. Their fans are going to be enthused. So we're really excited about it. It's our homecoming, man. And the guys, we can't get caught up in the homecoming. We got to go play ball, you know. So be ready. Let's go. Wow. Good game.
Well, thank you, Coach, for joining us on Red Zone again for this episode. It was good having you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, man. I really appreciate this. G-Town, one time. Let's go, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for watching the GHS-TV Red Zone with Coach Gene Robinson.
The Red Devils' next game is this Friday, September 26th at 7 p.m. against Memphis Central. But remember, it is homecoming, so show off your Red Devil spirit by wearing red.
If you like to see more of our programming, head off to GHS-TV.org. And if you can't make the game, catch us on live on YouTube. And remember, you can follow and like us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
We'll see you next time on the Red Zone.